Well, welcome everyone to my adventures. My name is Jack, and these are my adventures. I'm in Arizona. I'm always in Arizona, seems like. We're out on a claim, private claim owned by the club. Came out with a couple other guys, George and Darren. We're going to do some dry washing. I think Darren maybe just going to fill some buckets of dirt up. George has a dry washer going. I've got a dry washer I'm going to fire up. I brought a gold monster metal detector with me. I was just kind of going to play with that for a few moments. But what I wanted to show you was some of the areas how to find gold. That seems to be one of the questions I get asked a lot. How do you know where to dig at, and how do you know where to find the gold? Well, I don't think anybody actually has an answer to where all the gold is at. If they did, we'd be billionaires by now. But there are signs, there are clues as to where you can find gold at. One of the biggest ones that you always hear about is gold is where it's been found before. So the old timers found the gold, and all you got to do is follow the old timers and you'll find the gold. And that's pretty well true in the areas, and then you can kind of branch off a little bit in those areas to try to find your gold here. But I'm going to show you on this spot where I'm at right here of areas where to find the gold, or why there would be gold here. And then I'm going to set my dry washer up and shovel some dirt, and then I'll take the material back to camp, pan it out, and see what kind of gold I got. So let me show you this area and where I would dig to find gold in this area, and we'll talk more about the different areas a little bit later. Hey, right over there is the old town of Harquahala. That was a big mining operation that went on. There's some big mines on this side of the hill. You go up this draw, the back side of that mountain's got mine shafts all over. This was a big mine shaft up here. This got some, up there you can't really see, but there's some steel doors, metal doors on there. Used to could be going, walk in there, and there'd be water in there, and they tried to pump that water out and they could never get it out. But they pulled a lot of gold out there. The back side of that hill's got a bunch of shafts on it. You go around this side of the hill, there's some more shafts up there, shafts all the way up in there. So this whole area produced a lot of gold back in its days. And then there's all these washes, little tributaries. That's where we're digging into. If you want to try to do any of the reading of the land, like you see the tops of the mountains here, over on this side, you see the top of the mountains here too. So if this would have been a big wash once upon a time, or a big river on both sides of these mountains and water flowing down through that, that's kind of the directions all these little washes are flying to, or the direction they're going is down towards the big mountains down there. So once upon a time, this probably all held water, and water was kind of running through here a little bit, and then eventually it blew open and it all drained on out. So all the washes are kind of heading in this direction. And once upon a time, this was probably one big ass wash. And then as the water receded down, it kind of broke off in different paths and went in different directions. But this is a little bit different area than some of your other areas that have like big ass boulders and big rocks. That would tell you that was probably in a riverbed. So since there's no big rocks and all of that here, is why I'm going to surmise this wasn't, part of the river bed. This was probably more like a lake, or what you guys might call a reservoir or something like that. They just kind of shot the gold in, or the gold came up in the middle of it and then it drained out and just kind of receded and went in the different spots that it did, the different washes. One thing to keep in mind, gold doesn't come from the rivers and the washes. It comes from the mountaintops and the hills, and over time it erodes in the weathering and it gets pushed down into your streams and your washes and into the rivers. So like right here, there's a little wash. You can see evidence of people working in this wash. So I like to work in the smaller washes. The gold is more concentrated. You get in these big washes, once that gold hits those big washes, it becomes widely dispersed and can go deeper down. As you walk down through here, you can see this is tailings here, there and there. Those are dry wash tailings more than likely. Somebody's dug a big hole right there. Somebody dug a big hole right there. But if you just look down in here, see the evidence of where you can see the gravel right here. Then you get down in here and it starts to get more into mud or dirt, gravel layers. You like them gravel layers. And of course, you like quartz. Quartz is a good sign for gold. This tree root, you know, that's been down in there. That held some gold down in there. A lot of quartz. So quartz is a good sign for gold. When you're up in the looking for gold, you like pieces of quartz. And if you pick it up and you look at the bottom of it, see how that's orange? That means this ground is ironized. So there's a lot of iron in this ground, and gold likes that iron. But you can always tell how much iron is in the ground by picking up and just looking at the bottom of the quartz. There's a whole bunch of quartz all over the ground here. You know, there's no saying. It says, wherever you find gold, you'll find quartz and black sands. But yet, wherever you find quartz and black sands, you won't always find gold. And if you look at some of this here, this is caliche. This white stuff would have been stuck in the caliche. And I would also surmise that this whole area was probably a false riverbed. Once upon a time, it had that caliche layer. And the caliche over time has deteriorated and just kind of turned into powder. And that's why a lot of this dirt that we're digging in is kind of powdery material. And see here's some quartz stringers through there. Same with there. Somebody's moved a lot of them rocks. You like these rocks? Big rocks, big gold, huh? Somebody did some dry washing there. Looks like they took out part of this right here. Somebody down there, they're filling buckets. There's George down there, he's doing some dry washing. We'll go down there and see them operations here in a second. There's a massive quartz outcropping right there. All quartz doesn't contain gold, but it's a sign. So you got two washes. You got one coming right here. In the middle here, you got this big quartz blowout, and you got another wash coming right here. So this quartz blowout came up here, and that's probably what caused this wash. When the water was coming down to separate and go into two different washes. Point right here. So a lot of people like to dig in the front of these here because that's the two washes come together, and then they can come backwards here as it became one. A while back, somebody asked me about those desert plants, trumpets. These are trumpet plants right here. These only grow in highly mineralized soil. So wherever you see these at, you know this ground is mineralized, and again, that's what gold likes, is that mineralization. Again, a whole bunch of quartz. Another good sign for gold, where you see all of these at. That's probably a big old piece of hematite or magnetite. That's heavy. That's iron. That crumbles down just to black sand over time. Nice heavy piece right there. Some people mistake these, they think they're meteorites. If this sticks to a magnet, it's magnetite. If it don't stick to a magnet, it's hematite. And I'm going to guess that it's probably magnetite. I'll go stick this on a magnet and we'll see. Cool looking quartz. It's all stained, iron stained. All right, let's walk down and see George, what he's running. Dry washing out in the desert. He's using a Royal dry washer. You never saw a dry washer. I'll show you how them operate here in a second though, but that's George running dirt. Just pulling it right out in the middle of this little wash right here. Darren's just filling buckets of dirt up to haul back home and run them later. There's a bunch more of these trumpet plants right here. All these right here. These bulbs, when they dry out, they can get pretty big. You get big old fat round bulbs there. Kind of That's what they call a trumpet plant, though. That's your trumpets. Whoever asked that a while back, that's what a desert trumpet plant looks like. That iron rock I had, it's semi-magnetic, so which means it's mostly hematite. All right, I got this Minelab Gold Monster 1000. I'm just going to swing it here for a few moments just around this area, check some of this bedrock in this wash right here, see if I get any targets. If I do, I will show you what I dig up there. If not, then I'm going to come back and get this dry washer set up and start doing some dry washing. I'm going to show you my settings, what I like to use on these machines. Turn it on. I take that all the way up till the dot comes in, then I'll back it off one. That's theirs. My volume's turned all the way up on that. That's all there is. Goes to this side, it's mostly iron. Goes to that side, it's mostly gold. So I'll go see what I got. Real simple machine, turn on and go. It's a very sensitive machine. I'm using the smaller coral on this here. Let's go see if I get any hits. I got a target right here. It's showing that it's mostly gold. Right there. I'm gonna dig that up. If it's the ground's too hot, you can always, back that off a little bit, but I try to run it as much as I can. So let me dig this target up right here. Show you how sensitive. That was down, what, about 6-7 inches? Buckshot. Just a little piece of lead right there. Little piece of lead. Well, another piece of lead shot. All right, I'm done here. So this is a big Keene dry washer, the 151. Got the 4-inch intake on it. 4-inch holes anyways. It's a big box. Let me take this out and show you how this looks. Okay. If you've never dry washed, there's a fan in here. So what happens is the motor pushes air up into this box, causes this fan to spin. That's what blows air up into the box. Now on the fan, there's also a counterweight that throws it off balance. And that's what causes your shaking action. So the air is putting the gold up into suspension, or all your material, and then the counterbalance, the vibration, the shaking is causing the heavies to fall out. If you notice, on a dry washer, your riffles are opposite. The heavies come down and get stuck right here, where on the water, it comes in and it eddies behind it. So dry washers are just opposite on your riffle setup. And that's all a dry washer is. Up on top, you got a 1/2-inch classifier. So everything smaller than 1/2 inch is going to fall through. Everything larger will just slough off into the pile. So let's fire that up and run some dirt. Did I ever tell you dry washers are dusty, dirty? Yeah. A lot of black sands in there. Lots of black sands in there. That's what happens. These riffles fill with black sands, and then it makes this tray heavier. There's my concentrates. That's one run. I only like to do about a 20-minute run. I don't want to feel that, over bogged down these trays. This is a pretty big box. And you get a lot of black sands and heavy rocks in there, and then you start to lose some of your shaking and vibration. So I like to do more cleanups. About every 20 minutes I'll stop and do a cleanup. Sometimes I'll just keep the motor running, just pull the tray, dump it, and start up again. But this time I stopped. I had to take a break. And I like using these buckets with these little twist lids on them, because when I transport it back up, it won't tip over. Or if it does, I won't lose nothing. I tell you what, that picking and shoveling can sure wear you out, especially when you're out in the desert and it starts to warm up. But I gotta take a break, go get me something to drink, and I'll come back and maybe do another run. But let me show you my hole here. Oh, there's where I'm digging at right there. And you can see the gravel layers down in here. When I got down in here deep, see the caliche, the white stuff? So I hit caliche down there. So that's about as far as I want to go down, to just that layer there. Now I'll just start to open this wider, this hole wider, but you can start to see a gravelly layer. It's dirt mixed with little rocks. That's what you like, the rocks, little rocks. Yep, there's the spot. There's all my tailings. I got to go back to camp and pan it out. I think everybody's tired. Everybody's packed up, ready to go. So, might as well head back to the camp. And there's all the material I brought back. That's too much to pan. I'm just going to pan all this out rather than run it through some other piece of equipment. I'm going to classify it all down to 1/4 inch first, though. Dry washing, and you get a lot of these like clumps of dirt. Well, Drywasher doesn't break that down. So this will just go out inside the tailings, and you'll lose a little bit of fine gold that's on there. Gold settles better in water than it does with air, but sometimes it's all you have is a dry washer, and just try to break down these clumps as much as possible. Make the panning a little bit easier to do. So there's all that. I'm still gonna pan all that out just to be safe. Just to be safe. Those big pieces of iron, that's a good sign. Pan down there just for matters, and I'll just pan a little bit at a time out of there. See if we got anything in there. Tons and tons of black sands. There's gold in there. That's a big rock from the classifier, but big chunky black sands. You know what they say? Chunky black sands, chunky gold. Fine black sands, fine gold. Look at the gold. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got in here. The day's hard work. I see gold. Look at that. Oh, there's some fine stuff. There's gold in there. There's gold in there. There's gold in there. There's gold in there. Not bad, huh? Not bad gold at all. Yeehaw. Here I am at my camp. People's asked me, do you got any gold at your camp? Tell them no. Too flat of ground. No mountains, just all flats. I can show you though, we got, this wash like, and give you a prime example. So here's a wash. And look what's in the wash right there. Look at that dirt. That's all that is. That's just dirt. There's no gravels in there, no rocks, just dirt. So this would be like, this whole area would have been like slough, where it just kind of like pushed everything off to the side over here, and this flat ground out here. So you like to see sand. You like to see gravels. There's no sand, there's no gravel there. Just dirt, muck. That's why there's no gold here in camp. So that's why we go out into the desert. Our claims, closest claims about 6 miles from camp. Ones we went to today, they're They're further away. They're probably about, I don't know, 30 miles maybe. Probably about 30 miles, 20 miles, 20, 30 miles, something like that. So that's where we went today on that claim over there, and did some dry washing. So got a little bit of gold. So it's always cool when you get gold, you know. Anyway, so yep, got me a little bit of gold with the dry washer. And didn't find nothing metal detecting though, but it's just, it warms up during the days. It's still too hot here at the summertime. But hey, I sure appreciate you guys coming along and sharing on these adventures. If you're a subscriber, thank you very much. Appreciate it. If you're not a subscriber, sure hope you consider subscribing. And hey, like, sharing, you know, ring that bell. That way you'll get notified instantly when new videos are being posted. Plus, if I do any giveaways and all that, you want to be one of the first ones to know that I'm giving something away. I got some gold I'm going to be giving away here in one of these upcoming videos, so stay tuned for that. But anyways, right now I'm going to get out of this heat, out of this sun, and kind of go relax. But hey, I sure appreciate you guys coming along on these adventures. So until our paths cross again, you guys all be safe out there. We'll see you. Bye.